Good morning, everyone. There you go, we're streaming. Sorry, I'm a little later than I said I would be, due to some tiny little, what's the word I'm looking for? Technical difficulties. There you go. Let me just get this right. Ah, there you go, that's about right. That was a pleasant noise that I just made right into the microphone, wasn't it? Rah. That's all good. Is that okay? Is that all right? Um, yeah, there you go. I couldn't get anything on. And I'd forgotten that I hadn't downloaded the poster for the corner, and the poster's still not quite right. I can't change it now that we're streaming, but never mind. So hello, good morning. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre this morning. Not sure if this is a good idea, but we can try and get out of the way. Just before we start properly, there's no one watching, not at this time anyway. I'm just going to finish off my cup of tea. I'll be back very, very, very soon. Ta-da! I'm back. How quick was that? It was already brewing. Right, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. It's available on BFI Player. It's possibly there's a slightly different, shorter version available just on Amazon Prime, I think. But this is the 87-minute version. This is the version that's on BFI. Yeah, so I've attempted to watch this before in the early 2000s, late 90s, I think. It was on TV one night. And I started to watch it. And then I turned it off because I thought it was rubbish. I don't think any of the murders had even started. I just remember a load of young people that couldn't act walking around and getting on my nerves, so I switched it off. But there'll be no switching it off today, of course, because this is the point of the project. And do you know what? Even if it is bad, I'm going to guess it probably isn't as bad as Wall Street was on Friday, which was, am I allowed to say piss poor at 8 minutes past 8 in the morning? Well, I just did, so there we go. Right, let me find, we'll do the read up, because didn't do that with Wall Street, and was sat there going, why are we watching this again? Right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tobe Hooper, 1974. Have a cough. I've been coughing this morning. I cough all the time. So, loosely inspired by the real-life story of Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein, which, let's be honest, all serial killer films are, aren't they? He's the most famous serial killer, whatever. Yeah, you can say piss poor. Brilliant. It was piss poor. It was. Good morning, Sarah. Loosely inspired by the real-life story of Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein, as was Psycho, 1960 before it, and The Silence of Lambs, 1991 after it, and hundreds of other films. Tobe Hooper's ultra-low-budget shock horror classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, opened to a firestorm of controversy. See, now that's interesting. The poster has chainsaws, all one word, right? But in the book, it says chainsaw. I think that's interesting anyway. Open to a firestorm of controversy, and since then has continued to generate heated debate over its aesthetic merits and potentially damaging effects on viewers. In that, if you were me in the early 2000s, you thought it was rubbish. The film, which begins with some voiceover by a young and then unknown John Larroquette. Do we know who he is now? Let me just change my light position a little bit. Should I know who he is? It follows 5. Maybe just a typo. It was a typo all the way through, though. It's like every instance of it. It follows 5 hippie-ish teenagers on a road trip through 1970s Texas who have the grave misfortune of bunking down next to an all-male clan of cannibalistic ex-slaughterhouse workers. We've all done it. The most memorable baddie is Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen in the role of a lifetime, he of the eponymous chainsaw and gruesome mask made from the facial skin of several of his victims. After an unforgettable family dinner in which she is served as dessert to the ancient vampiric patriarch who can barely move his lips enough to suck the blood from her finger, Sally Hardesty, Marilyn Burns, the one teen still alive, manages an escape from this chamber of horrors by jumping through a second-story window. After a seemingly endless run through the woods at night, excellent, that's going to be rubbish, isn't it? With Leatherface's motorised saw, which incredibly never runs out of gas, literally inches away from her back, Sally finally hops on the back of a conveniently situated pickup truck and drives away as Leatherface angrily waves his phallic weapon in the morning light. Why, it's completely ruined it. Upon viewing this intense picture with its relentless pace and quasi-documentary style, critic Rex Reed declared it's one of the most frightening movies ever made. Shortly after its release, the Museum of Modern Art purchased a print for its permanent collection, and the film was honoured in the director's fortnight at Cannes. The accolades continued to pour in. The prestigious London Film Festival even went so far as to name it Outstanding Film of the Year in 1974, eventually grossing close to $31 million at US box office alone and spawning 3 sequels plus a remake, plus possibly 2 remakes now, I think, since this was done. Hello! Are you on the train? Spawning 3 sequels plus a remake, Hooper's warped labour of love stood for a time as one of the most profitable independent films in motion picture history. So Time Out London in 2012 said there are horror films which deal with the psychological, the suggested, and then there are the sheer in-your-face terrifying horrors which threaten to drain your body of sweat and lock your jaw shut forever. This is one of the latter. I mean, is this a good idea that I'm watching this on my own? I don't even know if I want to watch it at all. Tobe Hooper hoped to get a PG rating for the film by keeping most of the violence implied off screen. Oh, right, okay, so I've just read it's the most disgraceful horror in the world. Putting on makeup in the bathroom at work. That was good going. That was quick. And then Tobe Hooper wanted a PG. Right, okay. I've got my cup of tea. I might need a couple of cups of tea. It's only 87 minutes long, for Christ's sake. Oh, that's good. First cup of tea of the day. Right. So if we're watching along, remotes at the ready. Let me set up the timestamp down at the bottom. Let me just sort all this out. Okay, so if we are ready, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, earpiece in for copyright purposes, and here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. There we go. I think we're all right there. So starts off filmed by Tobe Hooper, very 70s. Oh, it's got a voiceover in, of course it has. And an invalid brother. Can we say invalid now? It's got a yellow. It's just somebody reading out the scroll. It's like bloody Star Wars, but someone's reading it out. Did use the word annals. Oh, there you go. So chainsaw is 2 words in the scroll up, but the posterous chainsaw is 1 word. August 18th, 1973. So I was -5. My dad had just turned 20. Which means my mum was 17. Yeah. But what are they taking photos of here? But it looks weird. Looks like let's do some rotten meat, and they're just like, oh no, it's fingernails. There you go, it's a dead finger. It looked like it was like a proper close up of some bacon. It's loosely based on Ed Gein, which must have been the beginning of the write-up that you missed. But as is every serial killer bloody film ever, isn't it? Did he skin his victims and turn them into lamps? Ed Guy and right. So we've got this like goopy head. I don't know if I should be watching this early in the morning before my breakfast. He was like Ed Gein. He was like the bloke who he did all the babysitting and stuff, didn't he? Everybody loved him, and he was killing people and eating them and skinning them and all sorts of stuff. It's quite. He wanted a PG, and he starts off with that. He's a madman. Can't be slower than Wall Street. At least it's not as long as Wall Street. Oh. There you go. Can we have permission to film in the cemetery? Yeah, of course. What are you going to do? I'm going to stick this weird kind of mannequin that's slowly rotting on top of one of the greys. Is that okay? Oh, yeah, brilliant. Which one do you want? I'll use this one of Margaret. Oh, I've not had anything to it yet. No, Texas Chainsaw. 2 words in the opening bit. I need to change what it's called. Can I do it mid-stream? Nothing happened. He got arrested and he cried. I don't even know if anything did anything happen. Gordon Gekko just got away with everything. It certainly appeared so. There you go. I'm not sure if that has changed the title. Midstream. But how weird that the poster's wrong. Perhaps the film's wrong. Bloody hell, it's still coming on. I mean, I can see why I turned it off quite early, back in the early 2000s. Because I think I'd have been sat there just going, it's too late for this shit, I'm going to bed. Dead armadillo, brilliant. I mean, it's 1974, that probably is a dead armadillo. Is there not? Oh, weird. I think that's because most of the films already have subtitles on BFI Player. That's probably why. Although I'm watching through Amazon. I got my BFI Player subscription through Amazon, so it might have subtitles. Oh, I've just ridiculously managed to pause it. I've just rewound it 10 seconds. Christ on a bike. What am I doing? I'm just putting down. I'm just putting down the. I'm behind now. I'm behind you because I've just managed to rewind it 10 seconds about 4 times. So you'll be in front of me now if you're watching with me, and the timestamp's all wrong. I told you it was too early. Right, the guy in the wheelchair is just getting out the van. That's where I am. See, this film's already annoyed me because he's wheeling him in to have a wee in a tin. Oh, brilliant. That lorry's driving past now. There you go. he managed to get his fly done. Oh no, his fly's still down, but at least nothing's flopping about whilst he went down the hill. Ah. It was. I mean, they couldn't afford stuntmen. Obviously, at least he did his own stunt, didn't he? See, I think for a horror film to be successful, something like this, you have to care about the people that are the victims. I think I've had this discussion before on one of these streams about the way Jeepers Creepers doesn't work for me is that it starts with that kind of opening, what seems like it's going forever. The brother and the sister talking in the car and arguing, and you hate both of them. And all I wanted was them to get killed, um, because I didn't like them. Um, and I think no bras in 1970s, and I just wanted them to die. And I think this is the same. Does he just wait for the? But would you go and visit your grandfather's grave with no bra on? Well, I probably would. Yeah, there you go. The good old wants me to creepy bloke having a laugh. If it had no actual kills until the last half hour, it sounds a lot like Death on the Nile. Oh, brilliant. There we go. Film for the vegans. I'm not judging her at all. It's just quite. I should start every morning, I think, with something like that. But I bet she was judged at the time, 1970s. So it was like, oh, let's make them hippies, right? No bra. This is the way they're driving about in this van, right? These like teenagers, hippie-ish. Um, this is actually what would happen if Scooby Doo was real. Just a load of teenagers who get killed by some mad people out in the hills. Yeah, I mean, would he? Why would you sit him in his wheelchair in the back of the van? He'd be rolling about all over the place. Surely you'd just like go, here you go, have a seat in the front. Who's this fella here they've picked up? There's some quite nice shots, I mean, cinematography is interesting. That would be James Franco. Yeah, it was a Godfather shot. Good God. I mean, it's like, it's a typical 1970s, let's portray some people with mental illness, stick a scar on the face, have a bit of a tit, go crazy. Look at him. You want to pick him up? Wow. Is he? I'm gonna have to Google him. Is when you say this Canadian film High Meets Highway 61, it's a quirky road trip movie. Is that like a is that a euphemism for something? No, no, I haven't watched Lady Bird yet, but I shall. I might do it this week, but not go live on it. Let's see. Perhaps I know where he is. What's he doing now? He's an absolute madman. Do 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 do. Oh, so you know who John Larroquette is? Definitely a North American thing, then, isn't it? He got his own show named after him. He's in Boston Legal. But hell, he's in loads of stuff. He's in The Librarians as well. See, this film's already. I've already gone. But he's like just dripping blood everywhere now. No, he's the guy that takes the photos. Of course, I should have got that from the photos. You go. I always take photos. He's like it's like when Facebook was. It's before Facebook. I always take photos of my dinner. Click. Bye. Enjoy work. Bye bye. There we go. Do, 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 do. Has he been in any other films? He's in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. It's one of the worst ones. That's what I remember in that. He's in Blind Date with Bruce Willis. I love Blind Date. It's like. Jesus H. Christ. It's been on, what? Bloody hell. It feels like it's been on for an hour. Why on earth did they pick this fella up? I mean, they just sat there and watched him do it. So it's clearly what he was going to do. I mean, he had his own knife all along. I'll kick the. Why aren't they driving faster away? I don't understand. I do remember this bit. This isn't even where I switched it off. I kept going. He's in JFK. He also narrates the 2003 and the 2006. Just got to keep getting him back for the narrator bits. And 2002. Bloody hell. There you go. Clearly massive. Never heard of him. Oh, dear me. Which one's the one who survives to the end? Is it that one now, reading the astrology book? Oh, it's my nephew's birthday today as well. He's 14. So happy birthday to Oliver. And the madness is, of course, that when he was born, which feels like 2 minutes ago, I was in my 20s. And now I'm nearly 44. So brilliant. Yeah, no, it said in the book one of them survives, gets on the other one survived, gets on the pickup truck, drives away, and Leatherface is chasing them. That's the only reason I know one of them survives. I mean, this guy driving the thing, he's Fred, isn't he? Look at him. Barbecue. There you go. It's people. Oh, there we go. Some more odd head shapes. The bloke washing the window here looks like Louis C.K. He's got over his sliced arm quite quickly. He's probably not as old as Louis C.K. He's probably has better social skills. Just won a Grammy as well last night, Louis C.K. So, you know, just goes to show that cancel culture doesn't exist. Doesn't matter what you do, you can still win a Grammy. He does look like Louis C.K. Look at him. I mean, he has warmed them, to be fair. Should have asked him if there was a better film to be in. That's close-up shot of her arse there while she's trying to use the vending machine. Oh, when did he die? Is that where he cut him there on his... Oh no, he's got a bandage on. I was going to say, there's a little scratch. Be from when he fell down that hill. Well, have you wiped it since? No, I think he was mad beforehand. We've got some barbecue. It's like the tiniest bag ever. What's he got? What's he got from the barbecue? There you go. The blonde is Sally. But it's quite nicely shot for a no budget horror film. That's a very good point. Well, they didn't know at the time. They were driving away, weren't they, I suppose? Why did he offer to wipe the blood off? You've got blood all over the back here. Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to scare you by blowing up your picture. No, we're getting close to the point where I switched it off. It was the 70s. No one knew about, hepatitis back in those days. What's he got in his mouth? Is it some of the barbecue? Is it a barbecued sausage or is it an old fella's penis? I don't know what's going on. To kill us? I mean, there's a fellow in a wheelchair there. You just left him in the middle of a field, right, in order to try and get himself around. I thought it was banned over here. I did think it was banned. And I think, see, I said early 2000s, I'd seen it on the TV. Lovely spider shot there. Blah, give me a cold shiver, that. Um, Bloody hell, we should either eat that sausage or put it down. I get the feeling that watching this fella try to wheelchair his way around all this undergrowth is what R2D2 would really look like on all those planets, sea lands. On Dagobah, this would be, you'd be like, I can't get up this bloody hill. He'd tweet. No, it was just the way they were moving, and it's a bit kind of like early morning nip in the air, and I went, blah. It's a proper weird trip out, isn't it? Do you want to get in the van? We'll go and visit our grandfather's grave that we think might have been dug up, and then we'll go to like an old house that we've heard of. This is I remember this is where I switched it off when they were at this house. So what? Not even half an hour in. I remember just thinking it was like proper amateur shite. I don't think that. I think I have a more of appreciation for it now. It was this bit, him doing his old hee stuff. I just went, I've had enough. Yeah, acting wise, it's amateurish because I don't think it's not shot in an amateur fashion necessarily. It's like a student film if it was directed by a real director. I mean, Franklin and that lad there are dressed in the same um, outfit. Oh, I completely understand why he's salty about it. It's just the old business. You know, you watch that and you go, was that the best take of that? Okay. Just seeing an hour. Poor old Franklin. Left on his own. Has to piss in an empty tin of peaches. He's not the comedy though, is he? I mean, isn't particularly funny. Sally! I think I'm going to make another cup of tea before the murdering starts properly. Is Blair Witch on the list? It is, isn't it? It's funny, the ones I've seen, or I'd already seen, I'm like, was that on? Is that on? Which, of course, was released in 1999, the same year that the ban was lifted on this, released uncut. They did. They did roughly like all of them at the same time, didn't they? Exorcist, Clockwork Orange were all kind of like that 99, 2000 era. I mean, you'd see that and you'd go, no, Well, not. Let's not bother. Oh no, just walk straight past it. It'll be fine. I mean, what's weird? I mean, you probably know this, but what's weird in this country is that films aren't banned like nationally. They're banned by councils. So it's like you could get banned by Wigan Council, but you could go and see it in Bolton. I mean, this just even before. I mean, you go you because of this film, you go, well, let's not go there. But even before this, you'd go, oh no, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Just camouflage all these cars that clearly from the victims. Let's just oh yeah, cup of tea. Anyway, see, it's holding my attention more than Wall Street did. Oh. Incredibly noisy kettle. Yeah, there is no sound. I've noticed that it's very quiet. I suppose that adds to it a little bit, doesn't it? The whole soundtrack. It seems like again, it's that documentary feel in it. Looks like a cashew nut, that rather than a tooth. Oh, you creepy old bastard. I mean, again, you just found a tooth, right? Um, but you go, oh, we'll go in anyway. He deserves to be killed. I'm going to miss the first murder now, aren't I? Because I'm making a cup of tea. Typical British problem. No, officer, I didn't notice I lived next door to a serial killer. I was too busy making cups of tea. Well, if you know the answers after the first 4 hellos, it's probably alright to just go. Oh, there we go. I told you I'd missed the first murder because I was making a cup of tea. Ugh. I did miss it. We'll have to pause it, line it to the loo. Just give me a sec. We'll pause it there. Ah. Right, I'm back. Bloody hell. My timestamp's well out now. I mean, it's quite ironic, isn't it, that this stream is possibly as amateurish as Texas Chainsaw Massacre is. Right, so here we go. If you paused with me, I'm at 35 minutes and 48 seconds in, and we are playing again. There we go. Yes, well, I'm going to just get rid of that as well. It's pointless. Let's stop the timestamp. There we go. My advice is if you got this far into the stream, if you do end up watching it, which nobody does, it's just for me, I'd probably not watch this film and go do something else instead. I mean, again, you wanted a PG because most of the violence is off the screen. We've just seen that bloke get, like, hit with an axe and, like, to death. Again, I mean, just morons. Walk into creepy houses. If there's like a jump scare here, I end up throwing this red hot cup of tea all over my groin. I mean, you get up now and you'd run as quick as you possibly can. I mean, a chicken in a cage is hardly the, freakiest thing you've ever seen, is it? I am going to throw my tea all over myself, aren't I? Teeth. So much fright, it's just bloody weird, isn't it? Some furniture made out of bone. So there's your Ed Geininess, isn't it? I mean, it's he'd be great on changing rooms, wouldn't he? Old Leatherface. What I'd like to do with Beverly's front room is I'd like to paint it black, get some furniture in made out of femurs, like adult human femurs, chicken in a cage. We could probably collect. I mean, it's almost it's definitely diminished responsibility. I reckon. People walking onto his property. It's a bit Tony Martin, isn't it? Not that I'm, saying Tony Martin's like Leatherface. It's a close-up of a toolbox. I was like, we get it. It's like loads of bloody... But why is she still there? Why is she still there, looking at the stuff and retching? Fight or flighty, you'd be up and you'd be off. Look at that bloody mask. The 70s was a different time, wasn't it, eh? I mean, why is she not beating him, like proper punching him onto the hook there? But she's not even seen her boyfriend yet, has she? There's the old chainsaw. It's true though, isn't it? It's just... Head off here, is it? No blood. Not a bit of blood there. Well, she could have sneaked out. How's he getting in here now? Oh, he's... Jerry's an arsehole. It's not even a Texas Chainsaw Butchering. It looked like the way he was holding it like that. It looked like he was making. You know, those people that make ice sculptures and use chainsaws. It was like a. It was like a Texas Chainsaw tickling. Oh, that's Jerry gone then and all. You didn't look so hard, did she? To be honest. I'm sorry. Christ, Franklin, you're a proper mithering sod. Disco stew. He's got a nice shirt. I quite like his shirt, but he's going to get ruined in a minute. Of you. I'm just tired of you, Franklin. Do you know, I was just thinking there's some good eating on him. They keep going for the winter. So I don't know if I'm looking forward to Franklin dying because he's going to scream like a bitch. Head off. Still going as it's rolling about on the floor. She is very Sharon Tate looking. It's probably just the look at the time. Although when was it? 67, was it? The Mansons. Is it 67? 67, 69? See, that's a lovely shot, that, in Walking into the Sun there. But it does remind me, any kind of like sunset shot like that with like that orange sky and silhouettes just reminds me of Emmerdale Farm in the 1980s. That was kind of the and it was orange sunset and oh, for God's sake. I appear to have accidentally opened my calendar there whilst trying to close that reminder down. I don't even know why my computer gives me reminders for my calendar. Alison Teeth here is the. I mean, Jerry, right, is far too old to be hanging around with these kids. Just looking at his face. They're all like bloody 18, 19, and he's clearly about 32. Don't goof on me. Absolutely. 69, there we go. I need to rewatch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It is on the list, but I've seen it already. But I do need to rewatch it, I think. I mean, it's literally just walk through the door, get killed, isn't it? It's like the Magic Killing House. I mean, look at all those. There must be loads of blood on the floor there. He's just killed that bloke whose name I don't know. And there's loads of bloody skulls on the wall. Kurt, there you go. Kurt or Kirk? Right, that's where he's had his head off, no blood. He's just hung her on a spike, no blood. The fridge is rattling. Oh, we got some music as well. Back in the freezer. I mean, Leatherface must think it's bloody Christmas. How often do people just walk through the door? Well, yeah, it's like jing, 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 isn't it? It's not music as such, but we've got some atmospheric stuff whilst the chicken clucks in the background. There's nothing more terrifying, is there, than somebody. I mean, look, he's sat down, he's got his head in his hands. I can't believe I'm killing all these people. Oh, what a day. Just trying to do some murdering. All these people keep showing up with me. I'll lick my big false teeth in my mouth now. That's freaky. The soundtrack contains no sound from musical instruments. Oh, right. What, him sit that chicken clucking, or him just sitting down like that going, oh, what a day, what a day. It is, it's like he's never done this much murdering in this short amount of time. He must think like, it's like, God, who, who knew it'd be the day that my hobby comes to me? It's like me sitting here today and someone, like 3 different people knocking on the door in 15 minutes and just handing me free films. There you go. This the day your hobby comes to you. Oh, I can't watch it. I can't watch it now without thinking it's just one big super episode of the League of Gentlemen. Jerry, right? Jerry would be Mark Gatiss with the wig on and the glasses, going, "Hey guys, stop goofing on me." Franklin would be Steve Pemberton as well. Sally would be Reece Shearsmith in a wig. Although I can also see Mark Gatiss as Sally as well. If it was League of Gentlemen though, Sally's nipples would point in different directions, like one up, one down. I mean, how have they stayed there this long anyway? It's absolutely pitch black. They must be freezing. See, Franklin's talking the truth now. See, Franklin's right here. On the horn, wait, and then leave. Perhaps not even honk the horn. We went Kirk, Kurt, Attila. It's got one torch in the entire. They're going cross country in this van. One torch. Oh, good God. If they took the keys, how are the lights on? The lights would be on in the van if they took the keys. need the keys to turn the electrics on, even now. Never mind back in 1974. Sorry, 18th of August 1973. Jesus Christ. If I was Leatherface, I'd be shouting, I'm trying to get some sleep. You stop shouting. They're in here. I've killed them. They're in my fridge. Oh, yeah, of course you leave the lights on. That's how you... Yeah. What am I even thinking of? I'm thinking of modern cars now, where the lights do go off automatically once you take the keys. My lights don't stay on. My lights won't go on if the keys aren't in. I'm having a meltdown. It's far too early. Look, it's a cactus. Like you could be arsed pushing him up all through all this bloody stuff. She's literally pushing him to his death. Oh, Jesus. That actually scared me, that, out of the blue. I love a scare jump. They get me every time. Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, leaving the lights on when they left during the day. At least she's run away. Right, so is this feels like the almost endless chase through the woods then, is it? I mean, she's running quite fast here, right? There's no way Leatherface is catching her, carrying all that weight and that chainsaw. Still no blood on his chainsaw. He's just cut Franklin in half with his chainsaw. I'm still laughing at me going, woo, when Leatherface appeared. Oh, dear me. I'm enjoying this a lot more than Wall Street. Like, a lot more than Wall Street. I mean, it's ridiculously awful. I can see why people love it. It's one of those, isn't it, where you watch it now and it's just so full of cliches. But I suppose they weren't really cliches then. Really? Although she's caught in all the shit now, so luckily he's got a chainsaw to get her out of the thorns. Yeah, original cliches. It's like Halloween. You watch the original Halloween now and you just go, bloody hell, this is hackney old crap. And of course it wasn't. Stomach's rumbling. Hungry. Yeah, definitely run to the house that he's clearly come from. Ah! There he goes through the door. Well, I wonder who lives here. She shut the door and lock it. He's got a chainsaw. Don't go upstairs. I mean, surely he's got a key, right? You don't have to cut the door open to his own house. I mean, clearly that's like a dead person. Why are you asking that person to help you? And another one there. I mean, it is... No, this whole, look at these creepy dead people and these stuffed animals in a room. That would be like... That would just be... in a gallery now. That some artists would just do that. It's Gunther Van Hagen. Oh, there's the 2-story jump. There we go. I mean, she'd have broken her legs, right? She'd have some kind of compound fracture there. At least she's ripped her jeans. Look how fast she's fallen. There's no way she'd just get up and run away. Here she goes again then. Oh, have we just got 20 minutes of them running around the bloody forest now? Go on, Sally. Off you pop. What are we now? About an hour in? This is because I've turned off my timestamp. I don't bloody know, do I? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Go, Ola. How's a shirt ripped open at the back? Well, I know why. It's only ripped open at the back and not at the front, but no, it's only 80 odd minutes long. That's what, like, nowadays this would be like 3.5 hours. I mean, she just keeps running round in circles and back to the house. He's clearly come from this house, Sally. Oh, it's the garage. She's run quite far there then, really. And I suppose this is the twist then, is it? That this is the family. This is the I see. I mean, all right, mate. It's like, turns out the barbecue was a penis. He's just going to appear in the door, is he? She does look terrified. That's not bad acting, that. Casual gaslighting. They should rename it that. She looks terrified because he's really just made a run through a forest, cutting all her arms. It's the old barbecue there, and clearly that's human. It's Kurt, that. He's had a bit of his shirt on. It'd be great, wouldn't it? This is the pickup truck she escapes in. The amateurishness, let's be careful I said that, does give it a creepier feel, I always think, back in the old 70s. There you go. There's a sack. I'm just going to tie you up. Texas with the old. There's been more. There's been more broom massacring than there has chainsaw massacring. He does look like a game show host. Oh, that must be the bluntest knife there to try and get through that. He just beats her unconscious with a broom. Oh my god. Where's Louis C.K. when you need him? There you go. Again, because it's amateurish. Proper gagging her as well. But don't worry, here's 50 quid for your trouble. Put her in a sack. Oh, I should have carried on watching this all those years ago. Do you know why? Because I wouldn't have watched it now. Although I think it is funnier now than it was back then. He's busy winning Grammys, absolutely, for his comedy album. Oh dear, what were they thinking when they went, oh, we'll give him Best Comedy Album at the Grammys? Louis C.K., yeah. Is there? I don't think there's anything dodgy about him, is there? Recently? No, let's just do that, yeah. Yeah. A lot of talk on. Lots of talk this morning about how, people are on about Will Smith and yeah, being like banned from the Academy and having his Oscar taken off him, blah blah blah. And yet Louis C.K. wins Best Album at the Grammys and no one bats an eyelid. No one thinks it's a bad idea. Oh, it's great. It's the good old. It's punking it with the broom, is he? It's movie driving, like Jack Nicholson at the beginning of The Shining. Yeah, probably. Is he like he's tenderising her, poking her with the broom handle? He's like a game show host just at home. Do you know what I mean? He's really normal on normalish on TV, but obviously the game show sent him crazy. He's so excited again to eat her, isn't he? Look at him. A family of Ed Geins. He is, isn't he? Just giving her a. I mean, what we all know as well is, let's be honest. Look who it is. Um, is that she's still really in that sack in the front of the car? They didn't just go, "Oh, we'll just pretend to have her at the front now." It's like, no, stick her in there. They don't know nothing. I thought I had my other glasses on, but I realise I've got these on because they're not quite straight. I mean, we could have cut all this let's really long, slow drive up to the house out, but then it was supposed to only be 70 minutes. Oh, Prince Andrew or this fella? There's more. More of this going on now. Franklin, I'm assuming Franklin's just like still cut in half in his wheelchair in the garden. Do we get to see the mum? Look what your brother did to the door. With the water coming out through his bowels. I mean, just knock her out, right? Oh, do you remember me? Of course, Leatherface can't talk. He didn't have that wig on before, did he? How does she escape from being tied up this bloody much? Bloody hell. I mean, I think the most terrifying thing is that somewhere in America there is a family like this right now who does all this murdering and lives like this. Why do I keep getting messages? Apparently my screen time was up 64% last week. Yeah, it's because I sat and watched 10 Batman films back to back. We did it. That's one of my favourite lines that I remember laughing my head off when I first saw that. We didn't burn him. We didn't burn him. Okay, your grandpa. I mean, Leatherface. They just call him Leatherface. That's his name, is it? He's not called, he's not called Dave or anything. Do you know what I mean? He was born and he went, we'll just call him Leatherface. I mean, we're talking loads of therapy, right? Exactly. That's why he's a murderer. They just called him Leatherface. I mean, if they'd given a normal name, I mean, all those chicken feathers. It's a day before it's before allergies were invented. Is there not already one? Isn't there not a Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which kind of goes back to his earlier days? Trevor Face, Leatherface, Trevor Face. There isn't a mum then. Oh, God. Just cut a finger there, smear it on Grandpa's face, have some blood. No, is he actually alive, Grandpa? No, he is. He's just got. Has he got? Is that his actual face, or is he supposed to have like a weird leathery face as well? I mean, that whole sucking the blood from a finger whilst he's doing this. It felt a bit Matt Berry. That. Bit of a fly. Oh, stomach rumble. Did you hear that? Bloody hell. Proper good stomach rumble that was. Fly on a chicken there. Dead armadillo. Animal skull. Grandpa. Oh, Leatherface has got one now with like makeup on. I love it. Have a proper sausage. It's like some. They've given us some food. You just can't eat it. I mean, in those white trousers, right? Sally must have shit herself. So where's Louis C.K.? Is he not part of the family then? He's just a local weirdo who washes the like works for him. Bloody hell! All that screaming. Sally's got a look of a young Una Stubbs. And there's a point. What's wrong with me? Um, there's a point where I'm actually looking and thinking it is James Franco. Please don't say I'll do anything you want to these crazy bastards. And a really weird kind of shot to her anguished face. I always wondered if they banned these films not because they were disgusting or frightening or whatever. If those were real green eyes, they're lovely. What a lovely colour. Anyway, I always wondered, did they ban these films because of the gore and the horror and all that sort of stuff? Or did they ban them just because they were shit? These shots are completely out of... it's not like the rest of the film either. You're just a cook. We're the murderers. Let Grandpa have some fun. It is a bit like that. These shots are really odd of her screaming. Do people watch this film for fun? Do people like, are there people that go like, oh, what should we watch tonight? Let's watch Mr. Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre on. Love that one. No, the movie's not over, but I went all wrong. I had to pause it while I nipped to the toilet. I accidentally rewound it like 10 seconds 4 times, so the timestamp was out anyway. So I just got rid of the timestamp. It's been the most amateurish stream there's ever been, which I'd like to think I've done on purpose, because the film's quite amateurish as well. So yeah, we've got, I don't know how long we've got left, about 5 minutes. They're just, the weird grandpa guy is just about to, hit her in the head with a hammer, except he can't hold the hammer. Weird grandpa guy looks like he should be in like a Peter Gabriel video from the 1980s. I mean, Christ, he dropped that hammer then and it almost really hit her in the head. Of course, the Peter Gabriel video he'd be in would be Sledgehammer, wouldn't it? I can't believe that I didn't say that on purpose. Oh, I'm so disappointed with myself. Straight out the window again, and she's off. Sun came up quick. I mean, why have they not run after straight away? They should have been out the door. It doesn't make sense. Bro Palpatine. It's probably the same mask. Why does it take them so long? And look how she's running. He'd definitely catch her. Even though he is like one of those weird zigzag runners. Perhaps just like the chase. I love how he's put his best suit on now, Leatherface, to chase after her. But has he not grabbed her? Quick, swift kick to the nuts here. Come on. Is the lorry going to run him over? Yes. Christ almighty. Sally looks like she's been played by a completely different woman now. Is he going to get killed by Leatherface? Into the truck. No, in the... Why hasn't he just driven off? Why has he not just driven off? In the lorry? Absolutely mental. Hit him in the head with a spanner. Sawed into his own leg, of course. I mean, they're not very good at pretending they're not crazies. It's a very busy road, isn't it, that these serial killers live on. Here we go, this is the pickup truck. Hurry up. Get in the back. Again, he could have killed her. Oh, but I suppose he's sawn into the... She could have actually got into the passenger seat. I mean, he can run quite quick here, can't he, behind them? Swing the old chainsaw. The lorry driver's probably dead. Again, it's a kind of a Emmerdale Farm shot, while he's waving his chainsaw around. And that's it. There we go. It has finished. That was... do you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was strangely enjoyable. It was shite, but strangely enjoyable. I like that the cattle truck driver was Ed Gwynn, Edguinn, based on Ed Gein. Jim Morrison looks rough. Right, that's it. We're done. That's 259. Tomorrow, we're up to number 260. We've done this week. When we get to Wednesday, Wednesday will be our 30th film that we've done since we started. It was over quite quickly. Script Girl. There you go. Who knew it even had a script? Perry Lorenz stunts. That was the just pushing Franklin down the hill. Right, so there you go. We're done. I need to get something to eat. My stomach's rumbling like mad. I need to go and take my nephew his birthday card as well. No, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. we are tomorrow because I'm having my hair cut. Hooray, 9:30. So we are doing, what are we doing tomorrow? We're doing a Hard Day's Night tomorrow. Why not follow up Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a Hard Day's Night? Right, bye-bye everyone, and see you soon.